lost almost $100,000
$100,000
at least. I started reaching out to my family. Hey, I need money. Could you help? And they knew I didn't have a job.
You just described gambling addiction.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. So my name is Robbie Rama. I am a school teacher.
A
work with
noble
little
and
kids.
broke profession. I like it.
Yes, and I love it too. I love being around life. At this point in my life, I want to be around laughter.
What did you go through, man? What did you go through?
Nothing major.
That's not what I've heard.
I'm happy now. I'm happy where I am. I didn't like the journey, but where it got, I really like it. I'm probably at the best place now, right now.
Well, let me be the guy that takes you back to the
Oh my
bad
God.
times. Let me be that
No.
guy. So walk me through what you were doing before and kind of just like how that was mentally, financially, and then we'll get to why you're here now.
I don't want to name names, so I'm gonna keep certain things anonymized. I'll try to share what I can.
That's fine.
So this goes back a couple years ago, honestly. I had a job in tech, Silicon Valley. Nice, well-paying job. We have a group in office and we go out there to just have lunch together. And one day, I just went with my colleagues and there was the senior guy, a couple years senior to me. And we just there having lunch and he carries his laptop all the time. And he's like, oh, give me just 1 second while the lunch was coming. And he's open up his laptop and he's like, oh my God, what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and this is a very simple guy, and I've never seen this kind of excitement on his face. Like, what happened? I'm peeking in his laptop, like, he made money. Like,
Yeah.
so he explains me how he has been investing. So I'm like, hey, how do you do this? What do you do? How much did you make? And this. He shared a little bit. Oh, I made these many $1,000s. I'm like, wow, like, what do you do? Like, do you go somewhere? Do you go to
Teach
the office?
me.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What happened? And it's like, yeah, you just go on these websites, you figure out what you want to buy and you buy and then you look at the market, it goes up and down and these are like real dollars. You can sell them, you can buy them and eventually you make money. You just have to be clever about how you do things. I'm like, okay, and like how much time does it take? Because, like he did day trading. So if you're pretty smart, right, you can call your puts and calls and all that stuff. And like, sometimes he makes $1,000, a couple $1,000s in a day.
That's a full-time job, though.
It's
That's
a full-time
what they
job,
don't tell
exactly,
you.
right?
Yeah.
And I had no idea. And it's like, how long have you been doing this? And he goes, a couple weeks, couple months here and there, like. So I'm like, can I get some too?
Yeah. It's FOMO. You want to
And
get in on it.
exactly, right? So it's like, yeah, why not? I'm like, well, I want to do exactly what you did. Like whatever stocks you bought, I didn't want to put in my money in something that was risky. Like that was my thing. But when I saw the potential, I'm like, okay, let's start with 1,000.
Yeah.
How's that? Well, you're gonna get this many. Like, okay, let's start. Like, okay, he got me stocks. He said the expiration date for not for a day, but he gave me a couple of days for me to just back out if I wanted to. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Okay. But I'm looking at the stock and it's going up. I'm like, okay, it's going good. And then I made money. I made a couple $1,000s. I basically doubled.
You got that first hit.
I got the first hit. I got the second hit too, and the third hit too, and then I lost a little bit. I'm like, and he like I lost, and he goes, oh yeah, don't worry, it's fine. That's normal. Like, okay, fine. I mean, net, I'm still fine. Everything was going fine, and I was like, okay, I got work and all that. Like, okay, I gotta keep this aside. I have deadlines that I gotta meet at work.
Yeah.
So that thing faded away, and then a couple months later, I got laid off, and the company was shut down. It was being bought by larger tech giant, and they just wanted patents. They just wanted customers. They didn't want the people.
Sounds like everything was going good until the layoff happened.
Oh well, you will be surprised.
Oh boy.
So the layoff happened. I started looking for new jobs. My mind was already hooked on this investing thing, but I didn't have the courage to go after it.
It's like you got the first few hits and it's like hard to just like you keep thinking about it.
It's like alcohol, man. It's like you get addicted to your favorite poison.
Yeah, you see a bottle of Jack somewhere, it's like seeing someone get green on a stalk. You're like, oh.
So I didn't find a job. I was also not putting my 100% in finding a job. And then I realized, wait a minute, that thing made me money. I can give that a shot.
I know where this is going to go, I think. Oh, no.
Okay, so I got some savings, started investing all that money, made some. Yay. Invested more. Yay. Invested more. All down. I lost.
When you say all of it, you mean your savings.
Not all the savings. Whatever I had put in, I was back to where I was.
That hurts.
I was positive that's how it works. It's normal. That's what people told me.
Yeah.
So I realized, well, maybe, there's something like, maybe I got to learn more. I didn't really knew it. I had a superficial knowledge about this because that guy just showed me. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so let me figure out how it's done. I didn't want to do a 2-year degree or something like that. So there's a bunch of YouTube videos,
Oh no.
training material online. There's a bunch of
14-year-olds on
teachers.
Twitter telling you, hey, I'll make you 100K a
and
month.
I was not smart enough to identify a scam. So, okay, I paid for a bunch of these courses. And, well, they were teaching stuff. They were teaching everything there is in the theory. Those were not people who lost money. Those were people who read a bunch of books, taught me. I'm like, fine.
They make their money from the courses. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So I paid $200, not just one course, couple courses. Like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it now. Invested more, lost more. I told my wife that, hey, I was going to do this. And she was like, yeah, like, figure it out. Just, yeah, that's fine. She wasn't into investing either. So, like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, the world does it, right?
Yeah.
I did. I lost money. And like, okay, man, I'm losing money. I took a loan on my credit card.
No. Oh.
And like,
no.
well, I mean, this is normal, right? Everyone teaches you, well, yeah, like it's poker. You lose a hand, you win a hand. You lose a hand, you win a hand. Fine, that's how it is, man. Like,
But you gotta call it eventually, right? Like, or else you're just gonna be a gambling addict if you're sitting at that table just.
well, I call it eventually. That's why I'm a teacher now, and I lost almost $100,000
$100,000
at least.
And some of this is from your savings, right?
A little bit from my savings, a lot of it from loans.
Oh no. It might have been better if it was savings, because the loans you're talking interest.
Whatever loan I took, I had a 15% interest to pay. And the deal was that I didn't have to pay anything for the first 6 months. I would have to start paying the EMIs 6 months from when I took it.
Yeah.
Didn't have the money because I lost. I didn't even have the money to pay the interest for that month. All I had was some emergency funds, and my wife at the time wasn't really working, and so she got a job. And her job was like paying enough to cover the expenses for whatever bullshit YouTube classes I was taking, for whatever the monthly expenses was. It was covered.
Yeah.
She didn't know about the losses either. She knew I was putting in some money, and whenever there was good news, hey, I made 3,000. She's like, yay, okay, it's working.
Yeah.
I only painted the rosy picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm losing money on my first credit card loan. I'm like, hey, I have another one. Let's take a second loan on my second credit card.
Oh no.
And it was a bigger loan
No.
because I gotta pay the first one. I gotta recover my savings too.
Were you at some point like using your savings to pay these loans down, or were you just
A little bit, yeah, because after 6 months when I didn't have the money to pay the EMIs, they started calling me. I didn't pay, I was like, hey, give me some time, this and that. We negotiated a bunch of deals, but at some point I was just not picking up their phones. What would I do?
How much did you?
At this point, I was 15,000 in.
And this is just the first credit card, right?
No, combined, first and second. I took more classes. I'm like, well, something's not working. Let me take more classes, more money gone, all that stuff. I started reaching out to my family. Hey, I need money. Could you help? And they knew I didn't have a job. And I would just tell them, hey, things are rough. I didn't want to ask my wife. She's doing whatever she can. No one knew I was trading. So I'm like, hey, could you give me something? I reached out to my sister and like, hey, and she has a job, so she's well.
What did they think you were doing? Like,
no, nothing. I was just looking for a job. Wasn't finding one. The market was tough.
they never asked like what you're gonna do with the money or something. That's
just
nice
living
of
expenses. Just living expenses, right? It's
Yeah.
genuine, right? If I'm your best buddy, I'm like, hey, could you give me $500, $1,000? Hey, I'm really like, you'll give it, right? You're not
Yeah.
gonna, hey, what? Give me a receipt. No. So they trusted me. They gave me money in total about 18,000 over the next couple months, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
And by then the credit card companies were coming after me. Basically they had all the information. They were making phone calls. They were showing up at my home, and sometimes I would be there, sometimes I wouldn't be, and my wife would be there, and she's like, hey, what's going on? Like, these guys came for loan money. I'm like, oh, there might have been some misunderstanding. Let me call them. So I would call them, like, hey, I'd give you the money. Just okay, can I don't have all the money, but I can pay you a little bit just to cover the interest at least. And they were like, okay, fine, but there's additional penalties. And I was doing the best I could. I knew at that time.
It's got to be getting better, right? Please tell me.
I got all the money, the 18,000 I'm talking about. I started doing commodity trading.
Oh. no.
I was getting confronted by everybody. Why am I not getting the job? What did you do with the money? What's going on, right? It's
Yeah.
been months and months and months. Why? Because all my other friends from that tech company I used to work with, they all have jobs. So what's special about me? Why does everyone hate me? Eventually I had to tell my wife that I was in debt.
How did that conversation go?
Well, she called my family. She's like, I can't live with this guy.
No way.
And I was just listening in from the other room. Everyone tried to call me. The news spreads, right? It's just you tell one person, everyone knows.
Everyone knows soon enough, yeah.
They started calling me. Eventually, I had to talk to them, show my face. Eventually, my dad came over to pay off all the loans, to reset my life, and to calm down my wife. And a lot of stuff was said, a lot of things happened, and it was best for me to take a break. It was best for me to be a little bit away from my wife because
I thought you said a break from investing. I was like, yes. Damn, that
too.
didn't go where I...
That too. Break
That
for
too?
investing, break from family, well, from my wife, because she was like, I don't want to live with you, guy. I promised everybody that I was just going to stop investing because that was the best thing to do. And I was just going to genuinely, honestly look for a job in tech.
And did you?
I got a job. Everyone in my family was really happy that finally, this guy is gonna do the right thing. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
I didn't lose my job then. All the offices were doing work from home. They started doing work from home.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing work from home. I didn't have a laptop. They didn't give me a small consultancy company. So I had a desk job.
Yeah.
So I had to go, right?
Yeah.
People started suspecting something.
But you're on the straight and narrow. You weren't doing anything like crazy like you used to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
So, exactly, except I didn't have a job.
You didn't have a... You were faking this whole time. What were you doing?
If you want money fast, day trading is the way to go. It's a game of poker. Yes, I lost money, but I'm losing money because there's something I don't know, but I'm working on it. Give me some time. Look, I get it. People make mistakes. Doctors make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
Did you think about like doing it maybe on the side? Like while you're doing another... Doesn't have to be a tech job.
You have to
tech.
remember, by this time, I have at least 4 to 5 years of gap in my resume.
Oh my God. That completely just... I forgot about that. That's insane. What?
Sure, I can get a job at McDonald's. I don't want that. I can make more money in trading.
Tutoring, part-time, something.
I realized later on what it actually was.
The courses that you're buying?
Bad luck. That's why I'm a teacher. I'm no offense against teacher. It's because of the little kids I get to be with.
They don't know about day trading. You're so far off from day trading with them that like it's like peaceful to you. It's like an alcoholic in a church, you know. You're so far away.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you're so far away from it that it gives you a peace of mind, you know.
Am I? Okay, didn't have a job. The whole thing blows up. Everybody in my family knows about it. Everybody's yelling at me. My wife definitely doesn't want to live with me. And I was like, okay, here's the thing. And this was a private conversation between me and my wife. Here's the thing. I don't want to do that job. I just don't like it. I like trading, but here's the thing. I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna be really transparent with you. I'm gonna show everything, all the paper, everything. You can ask me anything you want every day. She was very supportive. Like, okay, as long as you're not hiding anything, fine. Okay, I started doing it. Okay, I'm gonna take some loan from here. Like, okay, don't take too much. Okay, not too much. A couple of months passed, and my wife comes back from work. I laugh because I know how stupid I was. So she comes in. She's really angry. She doesn't say a word, and she's just looking at me, expecting for me to say something. I'm like, what happened?
Oh no.
What happened? And she's like, you tell me. Like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You stole money from my account. Like, what? And she shows me the paperwork.
No.
And I didn't know that was her childhood saving. Like, she had been saving that since she was in high school. Like, I wasn't trying to steal.
Did you actually take her life savings?
Not all of them, a little bit.
Jeez, and you didn't tell her about it. She just...
Because I was going to put the money back before she'd know. All I needed was one bet to go right.
You didn't have any other sources? Your own savings? Any other sources?
I'll tell you another source. Creditors.
Oh, no. These are the guys that...
These are the real guys. So went back home when I was like, hey, he took my money and all that, and like, I'm sorry. Are you in debt again? Are you just tell the truth this time, please? Like,
Yeah.
yes. How much? This much. Oh my God. How? And I lied again.
No.
And I'm like, hey, it's actually the loan from the last time. Like, wait, that was cleared up. Yeah, I didn't tell you about it. All the loans. It was actually the interest that accrued. I got scared because they had already paid so much. I didn't want to tell them, hey, here's this another thing.
But now it's lie inception, like lies within lies and telling lies to cover other lies, and
that's how it goes. They cleared everything. My family is so pissed off at me.
You have the nicest family ever. I have to say this, dude.
Oh,
they have covered your ass. Like, they've put your ass out from being on fire so many times now.
Back at home, genuinely this time, I said I'm gonna start. But hey, it's been 7 years. I don't have anything. Like, my resume has been like empty in this time. So I signed up for a course, couple $1,000s. It was a genuine course. I would go there, they'd teach me, I'd come back. I'm like, okay, they have assignments, everything. I was doing everything. And my family, I was living with my family, so they'd make sure I'd go and come back and I'm doing my stuff.
Yeah.
Good. It was the course was for about a year and a half. It took me 2.5 years to figure out, like, to finish the course, and mostly because I didn't really want to do it, but also the stuff was like, I had been so away from that stuff that it just taking me too much time. Okay, look, I've taken classes. This is not the place to look for jobs. I gotta be in the Silicon Valley, so I'm just gonna be there. Like, wasn't getting jobs obviously because So I didn't want to do investing. So I started doing Uber rides. It wasn't really working out. And then, and I was just watching a lot of YouTube videos, just reading whatever was there out there on the internet, just hearing everyone's advice, free advice. So there's this job I found. It's a transcribing job. They pay you $4 or $5 a page. And I had a job where I had to write 600 pages in 2 days. Good. I take that job. The deal is I write 600 pages in 2 days. They'll pay me $4 a page. And the part of the deal was that if I couldn't do it in 2 days, then I'd have to pay a penalty of $500.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, okay. Why would I not do it? Okay. I fell sick. I had kidney stones in those 2 days.
Oh.
Kidney infection. So tell me, haven't done anything wrong, and I already owe $500 to someone.
Dude, luck. At this point, this is luck.
Oh, you'll know. Yeah,
this is bad luck.
What's going on in my life? Why me? So I went back to trading.
Damn, that's insane. Let me just cut in for 1 second. Any other kinds of trading? Why is it just like day trading?
It takes a lot of time in other kinds of trading. I want quick money, man. I was in debt. That's what I learned. That's what I was fed. People who like playing poker, they don't stop playing poker unless something big really happens.
You just described gambling addiction.
If I knew I was making a mistake, if I knew what would happen to me 7 years from now, do you think I would have done it? No, I didn't know the future. I didn't know if I drink this water, am I going to choke? I don't know.
Have you choked more than you haven't, though? That's the thing.
Yes, but I can't stop drinking water. I'm a human being. I need water.
You just compared water to day trading.
Let me tell you a little bit what happened afterwards.
Yeah, go ahead.
When the bank won't give me the loan, my family won't give me any money. The creditors I had worked with, they won't give me the money. I had already tried selling my laptop, this and that. I got a little bit money. Yes, fine. There's another kind of creditors. There's all kinds of illegal apps. They don't give you a lot of money, but what happens? They'll give you a little bit money, couple $100. But the thing is, you have to pay 40% back next week.
It's like a payday loan rate,
basically. Okay, I couldn't pay the money. They started showing up again, and these are like even the bigger guys. $500. They 2 guys showed up at home, and my wife goes like, what the hell's going on? So I wrote a message to my family. Hey, I've tried a lot of things in my life. I made a lot of mistakes. I know you guys have helped me. I'm fine. I'm gonna be better. Once I'm able to, I'll get back to you. And I turned my phone off. Wow. People freaked out.
Yeah, that's insane.
Because I let that stupid app take my contacts, they started calling those people. Everything's online. Everything was on my phone that they took, all the photos.
They extorted you?
They edited a bunch of my family photos, did a bunch of stuff with it, started sending it to my family. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to share everywhere if we don't get the money.
I don't even have the words right now.
I didn't know they were going to do that. So everyone's trying to contact me. I have no courage. And when I turned on the phone, I noticed that I had so many messages on WhatsApp, Facebook, emails, text messages, this and that. But there was one that stood out. It was a message on Google Pay that my wife sent it over. She sent me $5 and she wrote a message to reach out. Hey, if you're in danger, just come over. Okay, I'll come over. Went over there. I cleared the loans. I mean, she helped a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, right? $200. Like, okay, I'll pay you.
Okay, good.
I went back. Didn't know what to do. A lot of mental coaching was needed. I came back from that mess, and I don't have any loans right now.
Thank God.
Yeah. My father helped me, got a job in this daycare, so I'm a teacher now.
You're here now. No loans anymore. No more loan
I've got
sharks.
emotional loans. I've got a lot of mental toil.
I mean, dude, that sounds like it. Sounds like you've been through, I mean...
At least $100,000. At least.
100?
And it comes up every now and then.
That's insane. And just gone. Basically, you could have set it on fire. Just poof.
I could have gotten a master's and a PhD in that.
I mean...
2 or 3 masters.
You could have started a course. You could have started your own course on YouTube.
If I knew this was going to happen, I wouldn't have done it. And that's the thing, right? If you think logically about this, none of this makes sense. But you can only think logically from the outside of that life. You being on this chair, you can think about that. Someone watching the video can think about that because they're not in that situation. When you're in such a mess, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, you had a really good support system. That's the good thing.
It wasn't like my father was a billionaire. Oh, yeah, fuck up and we'll cover. No. It wasn't like, you lost this much? Yeah, here's. That thing came out after days and days and days and days and days and days of yelling and mental torture and this and that. I'm not saying like those are bad guys. I'm just saying they were
highly pissed.
I deserve that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good thing to learn about investing. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a really good thing to learn about investing. But jumping right into one of the biggest problems with people who just learn about investing or find out about it is they want to take a plunge. They don't want to wear the floaty. They don't want to learn in the shallow pool. They just want to jump right into the ocean and go deep diving, you know? They say, oh, that guy can swim. He's a scuba diver. I can do it, you know? I don't need to put in 80 hours of training. I'll just do it. The problem with that is when you get to things like options, when you get to things like day trading, where it's basically someone else's full-time job. It's basically institutional investing, but you're doing it as an individual without the resources, without necessarily the knowledge, and I'm not going to count YouTuber courses and stuff as knowledge. The chances of being burned are really high. Now, a lot of people, sensibly, they have a bottom, right? You say, okay, if I lose 20K, that's it, I'm out. But the thing that's crazy to me is like you didn't have that bottom, you know? You just kept taking and...
I was told that was normal. And I was told days were going to come. Well, I mean, I know what you're saying. I completely agree with that. There's a reason I'm not doing it anymore.
Thank God.
Or am I?
Yeah. No.
I'm not.
No Charles Schwab accounts, no Robin Hoods, right? No random illegal apps with loan sharks coming anymore.
Nope. I mean, this job is not sustainable. I know. I mean, yeah, it's a break for me to get better mentally. I mean, it's not like I was mentally retarded or anything. It's just that
you had an addiction.
Yeah, but I'm not taking a medicine either, right? It's just I'm keeping myself away.
Yeah, it's a psychological addiction. Yep. What it is people don't realize this, but stocks, especially day trading and options, and I'm talking about the risky stuff, it's basically gambling addiction. You're still gambling. It's just you're not going to a casino in Vegas. You're doing it on a laptop or a PC at home in your room.
No. I knew this was gambling because I've been using the words bets. I've been using poker as a reference. This is all gambling, right?
You got to have that level of, you define your level of risk aversion.
Yeah.
You are the one who says, you know what? How risky am I going to be? You know, you look at everything. You're like, is it my money? Is it someone else's money? What kind of investing am I doing? You take all that into account and you say, you know what? Is the risk worth that reward? Because there's nothing in this life where you get reward without any risk. Unless you're born into a rich family, that's the only no risk, high reward.
Like, sure, you can invest $1. And you can invest $1 because it doesn't matter. Like, even if you lose, doesn't matter. But hey, you can only make like $2 out of it, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? No, I don't want it. I mean, I'm going to start with that, but I don't want that, right?
You got to have money to make money. The rich get richer. It's sayings.
And, you know, I'm not the only one who took the loans. Yeah, people take loans all the time. And I wasn't taking, give me $50,000. it kept getting accrued.
But now you're here. Now you have, I'm assuming, some expendable income, right? That
Yep.
were not loans, your income.
I'm living with my family, so I don't have to pay for rent. I don't like my mother cooks amazing food, so I eat that.
Are you using your own money?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I'm going out with friends or whatever,
Okay.
buying stuff, like whatever, right? Yeah.
What are
I
your
use-
goals now? What do you? I want to see how can I be of the most help right now?
Well, I mean, honestly, I want to make money fast. Still, I'm not saying trading is the way. I'm just want to, and I say fast is because I at least want to get a well-paying job.
Yeah.
Right now, yes, I have a job, but it's not making as much as I was making at least 7 years ago, right? From the tech job, I wanna get to that level at least. I wanna know what I did wrong. I mean, in terms of investing.
Step-by-step thing. Number one thing, before you even mention the word investing or it even crosses your mind, number one thing you got to do before you do anything else, you need to have 6 months of an emergency fund. Have 6 months of only you know what your expenses are going to be. Right now, you don't have rent, no car payment. When you have enough in your savings or checking account cover 6 months of your expenses, then you can start thinking about investing, about doing something else. Now, let's assume you're going to get that 6-month emergency fund. You still want to invest? My biggest advice is, look, I don't want to get you into that addiction again, but not having any sort of diversified investments, you're not going to, I mean, other than a job or starting a company or having real estate assets, I don't see many other ways other than also getting into a safer way of investing. Are you going to invest again? Or are you calling that, are you done with that for good?
I don't know.
Let's not talk about that then. Let's talk about something other than investing.
Yeah.
For a job, do 2 things at the same time. Either find a full-time or part-time position using your skills. The number one thing you can do in this life that you can monetize yourself, meaning have skills. If you have a skill, you're monetizable, either to a company or to clients, to yourself. Build up your skill set. You do have the gaps in the resume, but that's fine. You can get a part-time position. You can, if it's going to be hard, it's not going to be easy, but you can get another higher paying full-time job if you want to make more money. If you want to leave teaching, you can get a different job. If you want to stay in teaching, get a part-time position. Start thinking about what you can do with the skills and the knowledge that you have. How can you monetize yourself? What are you better at than other people? Or what do you know enough about that you can monetize? Either get into teaching, as in like start teaching other people about your mistakes. You can tell other people about your mistakes. That in and of itself is teaching.
I mean, part of it is that I have to retrain my mind to be okay with that plan.
You got to get off the crack, man.
Yep.
It's hard, but not everything about life is quick. Look, the thing that's insane is if you start making the right choices now, and how old are you?
33.
You're still young. If you start making the right choices now, you're not going to get rich in a year. You're not going to get rich in 2 years. But the people you see who are in their 30s or 40s or 50s, who have their own boat, who have nice cars, who have their own house, those people, they started making the right decisions in their 20s and 30s. It took them a long time to get there. Believe it or not, a lot of them, it took a long time.
That's the thing no one tells.
That doesn't sell. It's not glamorous. It's not shiny. Nobody wants to know that you have to start making small decisions.
You have no idea what kind of stuff I did. I almost wanted to start my own company on batteries.
And you could have. With the $100,000 that you lost, how much is it to bootstrap a company like that? I mean...
No. So this idea came when nothing was working. I had already lost 100,000. I was like, oh, what can I do? Uber driving was one idea. Transcribing was, hey, what about I can get into some battery stuff. I know there are some markets like India and Bangladesh and all these. They don't have EV. And, once the EV gets in and, people are going to run out of batteries.
Yeah.
So I could have stuff. No one wanted to invest in my idea.
That's always a rough thing, but you got to pick yourself back up, and you can't go down the path of making more bad decisions because you're in a hole.
Look, the thing is, I don't have a mentor. I don't know if something's bad or not. And the people who say they're going to help me are these YouTubers and all this. And I went to them and, sure, I can read a book. I can get a master's degree, talk to a professor. Yes, they're going to tell me all that stuff. But when it's time to actually do it outside of the theory, I don't have a mentor.
Let me give you a roadmap. First and foremost, I'm going to hit this home again. Emergency fund, 6 months. Have that in place. Number 2, when you have that emergency fund, start thinking about what it is that you want to do. If you want to do fast cash and you don't care, you need to start weighing some options. If I want to do something on my own in as risk averse of a way as possible, take some risk, but it's measured, it's calculated. Once you start figuring out what that is and you start doing it, if it's not working out, don't be afraid to pull back because you haven't put that much money in. And the money that you did put in, you can afford to lose because now you have an emergency fund. You're just going to validate your idea first. That's what they call validating an MVP. You validate your idea. Is there customers? Is someone going to pay for this? If the answer is yes, you can scale up. If you start having more money, this is where you got to start being careful. Now you're starting to have more money coming in. Now you have a savings, you have your emergency fund set aside, you have savings accumulating, you have money coming in. Real estate, one of the best things you can do, honestly, cold email. I know it sounds weird. That's how I got my job. I cold emailed 500 people. 90% never responded. 9% said no. 1% of people I got an interview and I passed and I'm here. Another thing you can do is safe investing.
What's that?
It's the exact opposite of options and stocks. Do you know the SP 500?
Yeah.
The returns over 20 years or whatever, 12%.
20 years? Who's got 20 years?
I'm not going to lie, you're not going to be Jeff Bezos in 10, 20 ever probably, but you can have a very, very good life still. You make the right decisions, you do the work, you put in the work, you do it. Doesn't have to be slow, but it's measured. The risks you take from now on are going to be measured. Here's one of the best things I can advise you. When you have expendable income, go talk to a financial advisor. There's the ones who have a fiduciary duty, and then there's the ones who they don't really care about you. Go ahead and do that. Sometimes they can get anywhere from 7 to 15 to 18% returns. And you don't have to do anything. You just give them your money. They return a good percent to you.
Just let someone else play bets.
Let someone else play that bet.
So you're saying I can make money even without getting personally involved in the process?
Literally. Well, I'm really glad that, you came on. I'm really glad that you shared your story with us. I know that must have been really hard. And I'm really glad that you're in a better place now with no debt, no weird random men knocking on your door.
Nothing.
You're in a good place away from your demons. I'm really glad.
Thank you.
Just make sure whatever you do, it's calculated and that you don't walk into that casino again.
Calculated differently, the right way. Thank you for letting me share all this.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Yeah.